Okay, so this is issue 3 of Capes. Yeah, it's okay. Again, it's okay. It's weird. It just feels weird. Um, so old kid Thor, whatever, and the boxer go out for a date. And explain. He said, "Oh, kid Thor, that's weird. Because apparently Thor man killed the boxer. Apparently, it would seem. Um, her granddad stole the boxer's gloves. Pretty nice Dark Knight rip off, homage. Very cool. Um, he was going to sell them, then didn't. She found him instead and became the boxer. But yeah, so it's like, okay, right, okay. Then old Captain Capitalism, whatever, goes and sees her, and it's like, oh, that's okay. You come stay with me. It's like, right, okay. And then the guy who was going to kill Bolt is still talking to the lass about the bird watching. Okay. And then old Blokey come back in time, spending the night with that lass who goes around the uh, seducing all the heroes. And then okay, right, fine. And then this robot wakes up, and as Bolt is checking into Capes, he turns up. Monkey Man, whatever, the ape baboon, whatever he's called, gets bashed up. All of the Capes dudes come out, and yeah, it's the typical kind of Invincible style violence. People are getting torn in half and all this kind of stuff. Sound effects I recognise from. I believe this is Blandbot sound effects. I recognise these. Very very nice. Anyway, the got one of the guys who's got the twins. He gets killed as well. Um, and then it seems that the psychic chappie has got his powers back, which we kind of half knew anyway. Um, and then there's this weird kind of thing. So basically, the story is that the psychic chap found the guy during the chap during World War II, pretended to lose his powers, but basically kept him in sleeper mode so that he could unleash a threat onto the world, so that Capes would get more funding, and then he goes away. And go, okay, that was weird. And it turns out it was correct and it was true. And they're talking about there's a new guy who's in charge. They need to go for a meeting, and then the guy who's the duplicate chap is kind of got the original guy's ashes on his bookshelf. Um, it'll be funny. I thought the idea is they kept the super as if they were near to each other. I'm surprised they didn't do something a little bit darker and kind of like, craft an amulet out of his ashes or something or other, so he's constantly carrying them around, so he's constantly got superpowers. That's what I would have done. That would have been quite cool. But there's no explanation who the new guy in charge is. I don't think it is actually him. It just says, "Oh, there's a new guy in charge is doing this kind of stuff." And I go, "Okay, right." So I thought that to me seemed to be like the resolution of the storyline. I know we had some bits and bobs about the time traveling crocodile, but that's not. We have got the time traveling crocodile turning up, which is going to turn up in the next issue. But it's just like, okay, that's weird. And there's a Vitramite there or whatever. If it's not, it looks very much like one. So I don't quite know what's going on with that one. Um, so we shall see what happens with this. But oh no, it just seems, I don't know, not just seems weird. I don't know. It just seems like there's lots of, and this happens to these characters, and this happens to these characters, this happens to these characters. Oh, and by the way, there's a fight at the end of it, and it seems like, okay, I'm quite not quite sure where all this stuff is kind of tying in. And this is, I think I've mentioned this in the review of the other issues. Is there seems to be an awful lot of B plots, and then like an A plot, and the A plot is kind of like tacked on the end of this issue, especially. Most of it's all B plots, and I'm not quite sure why they're spending so much time with the B plots. Um, because I don't know why they need so many. They could have just had. It's not like it's literally cutaways to all of this stuff going on. It's like having Star Trek and being on the bridge Enterprise, and every 2 seconds we're going, like, oh, while the aliens are outside, then Data is looking for his cat, and then George LaForge is deciding whether or not to go on another date with Leah Brahms. It's weird. It just seems like, well, focus on the A plot. Give us the character, give us that, and let's see how it kind of all ties together. And the idea, okay, yeah, telling you the origin stories, that's fine, but it would make more sense to have one of those stories be the B plot rather than a B, C, D, E, F. plot as well. Anyway, it's not too bad. I just don't know. I'll say I'll stick with it all the way through to the end because it's worth picking up everything now. Now I'm this far into it, with 3 issues into it, might as well get the rest of them. And something interesting might happen. I don't know. It also doesn't feel quite Invincible University. I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't feel like it beds in quite right. Um, I don't think they were mentioned in the actual original Invincible run, so we shall see. But yeah, all in all, not too bad. It's pretty cool. So there you go. I think that's enough rambling for now. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Bye bye.